All right, let's talk about one of the most common and most destructive myths in the entire world of industrial sewing. We're going to tackle a piece of advice you've probably heard on the shop floor, and we're going to expose why it's so incredibly dangerous.
Just turn the needle a bit. I mean, come on, I bet almost everyone watching has heard that one, right? Maybe an old-timer showed you, maybe you read it on a forum. It sounds like such a simple, clever way to fix skipped stitches.
But if you're nodding along right now, you need to listen really, really closely, because that 1-minute fix is actually a shortcut to causing some seriously expensive, machine-killing damage. Let's break down exactly why.
So, first things first, let's call this what it is. It's not a trick of the trade, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of the engineering that puts your high-precision machinery in serious jeopardy.
So you might be asking, how did such a bad idea get so popular? Well, it's usually a cocktail of a few things. Sometimes it's just bad habits from more forgiving domestic machines being used on industrial equipment. But, more often than not, it's a well-meaning operator just trying to get a worn-out machine through one more shift. And these fixes, they just get passed down from person to person without anyone ever stopping to ask why the machine was designed the way it was in the first place. To really get why twisting the needle is so wrong, we have to zoom in, way in, on the needle itself. See, it's not just a pointy piece of steel. It's a highly engineered component with a very, very specific job. And the secret to its job is this little guy right here, the scarf. Now, that scarf isn't a mistake or some random dent. Oh no, it is a feature that's machined with incredible precision for one reason and one reason only: to create the perfect amount of space for the sewing hook to do its job.
And you can see it so clearly here. That shallow cutout, that is the scarf. It's not a flaw, it's not an accident, it is 100% intentional, placed there with insane precision by the manufacturer. It is arguably the most critical design feature for creating a perfect, strong stitch.
So what's its purpose? Well, the scarf has to do 3 things absolutely perfectly. 1, it lets the hook get incredibly close to the needle without ever touching it. 2, that super close pass ensures the thread loop forms at the exact right microsecond. And 3, that allows for a stable, clean pickup of the thread stitch after stitch after stitch. And here's the kicker. This is all engineered down to the micron. It is not designed to be tweaked or adjusted by an operator, ever.
All this incredible engineering comes together in what I like to call the perfect stitch dance. It's this high-speed mechanical ballet, happening thousands of times a minute right inside your machine.
Just how precise is this dance? Well, the required clearance between the hook point and the needle, right in that scarf area, can be as little as 0.05 of a millimeter. To put that in perspective, that is literally thinner than a single strand of your own hair. It's amazing. And right here, this is what it looks like when that dance is absolutely perfect. You see the hook swoop in, it passes through that tiny space the scarf creates, and it cleanly grabs the thread loop. It's a flawless, powerful interaction that makes a perfect stitch every single time.
Okay, but what happens when we mess with that perfect alignment? What happens when we twist the needle? Well, that's when the beautiful dance turns into a complete disaster, leading to some pretty critical failures.
When you twist that needle, even just a tiny bit, you introduce a chain reaction of 3 huge problems. First, you get a massive risk of a hook strike. Second, your loop formation goes completely haywire. And third, you start causing serious thread abrasion and breakage. Let's look at each one.
So first up, the hook strike. When you rotate the needle, you move the scarf out of the way. It's no longer protecting anything. The body of the needle is now directly in the hook's flight path. This is going to immediately start wearing down the hook's tip. It'll create burrs, and eventually, it's going to lead to a catastrophic failure of the hook. And that is a very, very expensive repair.
Next up, those unstable loops. Now we're seeing the total opposite of that perfect dance. With the scarf misaligned, the thread loop just doesn't form correctly. It might be too big, too small. Maybe it doesn't open up at all. The hook can't grab it consistently. And the result? The very problem you were trying to fix in the first place: skipped stitches.
And finally, you've got thread damage. See, the needle's long groove is designed to be a smooth highway for the thread. When you twist it, you're forcing that thread to scrape violently across the sharp edge of the needle eye. This creates a ton of friction, a ton of heat, and constant, frustrating thread breaks.
So, if twisting the needle is so wrong, what's right? The answer is incredibly simple, and it is absolutely non-negotiable. It's what we call the zero rotation rule.
A professional installation is always done this way, every time. Number 1, insert the needle all the way up into the needle bar. 2, align the scarf so it is facing the hook perfectly. 3, make sure that long groove is facing the thread path. And 4, the crucial part, tighten the screw carefully, making absolutely sure the needle does not twist as you do it. Zero rotation, period.
The difference couldn't be more clear. The amateur fix, rotating the needle, is just a band-aid. It only masks the symptom. The professional repair is to actually adjust the machine to fix the root cause. One causes long-term damage and costs you money, while the other protects your investment. If you're skipping stitches, the problem is in the machine's timing or its setup, not the needle's orientation.
If you walk away with one single thing from this entire explainer, I want it to be this. The needle is a reference component, not a tuning device. You set it perfectly, and then you adjust the machine to the needle, never, ever the other way around.
Look, it really all boils down to this. Correct installation protects your hook, it guarantees your stitches, and it preserves your machine's lifespan. Twisting the needle does the exact opposite. It speeds up wear and tear and leads directly to the problems you were trying to avoid.
So I'm just going to leave you with this one question. Now that you know the engineering and what's really happening inside that machine, is that 1-minute fix really worth destroying a piece of precision equipment? Respect the engineering and it'll give you the performance you paid for.